card gamers? What's up, boys and girls? Today we're going to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Specifically, Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution. This game's been out for, oh gosh, I guess about a year. This is not so much a review, this episode, as it is me telling you why you should go buy this game if you have not done so already. Hopefully, if you're a card gamer, hopefully you already own this. But if for whatever reason you don't, I'm going to try to convince you by the end of this episode. Yu-Gi-Oh! Let me tell you a little bit about my experience playing Yu-Gi-Oh! First, I guess, and this maybe will give you a better idea. I have not really played the paper version of Yu-Gi-Oh! I think I have messed around with it with my friend before, but I've never really collected the cards and played that a lot in paper form. However, I have played the digital versions of Yu-Gi-Oh! All the way back to Game Boy Advance. I think Eternal Duelist Soul. Gosh, that was probably early 2000s. I mean, it's been a good 20 years or so. So in every iteration of those games, pretty much I've tried. They had several Game Boy Advance games, DS, 3DS over the years, and maybe even some console versions. And so I've played most of those. And it keeps me coming back because it's a well-designed, it's a good game, and I think they have a pretty good track record with those. There was a few that I wasn't crazy about and maybe weren't as good as the others, but most of those games have been pretty good. And what I love about those games is you get a ton of content for a pretty small investment price. So I'm always okay with that type of deal, and that is absolutely the same with this game, Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution. What a name. Here's one reason why I think you should buy this game. If you like card games at all, you should buy this game. And the first reason is to tell video game publishers that these types of games are important to us and they're what we want. If these games are made and they're made well, then we will support them. That's what we want to tell these developers and publishers, is that they can continue to push these types of games and have an audience. And here's the deal. And it's Konami in this example, if we don't support these types of games, they're not going to see the incentive to keep making these types of games. And so these are for the big publishers. That, I think, trickles down even to the indie publishers. Like, we have to tell people that we will support really good card games when they are made. And guys, for my money, this is probably the best digital version of a card game I have ever played personally. And I'll tell you what, as soon as I come back from the break, I'm going to tell you exactly why this game in particular is, in my opinion, the best. I told you that we should buy good card games like this when they're made, for one reason, to send a message to developers and publishers that we like this type of game. But that's not good enough on its own, right? Like, the actual game has to be really good. And man, let me tell you guys why this is incredible. In Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution, there is an absolute buttload of cards to collect. There's over 9,000 cards. Over 9,000! If you have even just one copy of every card in the game, which would take quite a while to collect, trust me from experience. Obviously, most of them you're going to have more than one copy. You try to get 3 copies of everything. But if you have one of everyone, that is less than 1/2 of a cent per card, based on the retail price of this game being $40. What? Less than 1/2 of a cent per card. Y'all, do I need to say anything other than that? Less than 1/2 of a cent per card. That's crazy. There is a complete crap ton of cards in this game. And if you are like me, you don't even need to hear anything other than that. There's tons of cards that you can get in this game, and the retail price is $40. You know what? If you're careful, you can find this on sale. It's been on sale for as low as $20. That is an absolute ridiculous deal. Go get this game right now if you don't have it. What else do I like though? Don't get too carried away here. There's tutorials each of the steps of the way through. So if you somehow over the last 20 years have not learned how to play the game, or see, here's where it comes in. If you're like me and you've been away for the game for a long time, maybe you play Game Boy Advance, DS, whatever, and then you come back in and you say, oh man, there's all kinds of new cards. I don't know anything about these. What is a link summon? What is a synchro summon? I don't even know what this stuff is. There are really good, helpful tutorials in the game that show you how to do everything, and they kind of walk you through the steps. And the game kind of ramps up in a story style progression of the complexity of the cards and like what sets they came from. And it's really good in how it does this. And as a matter of fact, you can replay the tutorials if you forget. It's just really well done. I wish that all card game, really all video games, period, would do this. The tutorials in this game are great. This game is really a history lesson. I mean, it's a good 30 years of cards. Is that 30 years? 25? I don't know how many years it's been, but this is a complete, you go back to day one of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's over 20 years. I don't know exactly how long. You work your way through every story of every Yu-Gi-Oh! Universe in this, all the way back to like Yugi and Kaiba. There's almost every duel from the anime or manga is in this game, and you can replay through them. What a cool concept. So like the epic moment, right? When Yugi's playing Kaiba and he gets all 5 pieces of Exodia obliterate, and you know, Kaiba's face gets like blown away, but then actually nothing really happens because he's back in the next episode. Those great moments, man, are all throughout, and you get to replay through those actual duels. Almost every duel is in here, and you can play through, and you can actually play through with that character's deck that they used at the time, or you can choose to play your own decks, which I find more fun. But it's a cool concept to be able to play with the character's decks. And then there's this. After you win the duel, you can go back and reverse and play as the opponent. So you didn't even get that in the show, but in this game you can play the other side of the matchup, and man, that is just extremely cool. Have I mentioned that there's a ton of content in this game? This goes all the way through every iteration of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Story. So you got the old school with Yugi and Kaiba. Then you've got GX. I can't even remember all of them. You've got, oh gosh, what is it? GX. And then there's the Arc. Oh gosh, forgive me because I'm forgetting all of them on the spot here. But every version of the show, of the game, is in here, and you can play through as those characters, as their decks. You can unlock the cards. It's just awesome. There's also, if that wasn't enough, drafts and sealed gameplay. You can do a sealed where you get 6 booster packs and make a deck out of whatever you get, or you can do a draft where you choose from a pack of cards that's passed to you and build your deck out of that. That's a great way to, it's fun to just play those gameplay modes, but you also get to keep all the cards that you get, just like in real life. If you do a draft or a sealed, you just get a ton of cards out of it. I mean, who doesn't love this? It's an awesome option. I wish more card games would do stuff like this, but yeah, it's here and it is excellent. I do wish there were more draft packs. There's only a couple. I wish you could draft from like any set, would be really cool, but there are a few that you can do that with in here, and that are designed for that, and it's really fun. It's a fun gameplay mode. You can also, so how the game works is not unlike a lot of the other Yu-Gi-Oh! Video games. You earn points with every duel win, and this is what you buy packs with. Now, let me say this. If I do have a critique about the game, it can be very hard to find the specific card that you're looking for, and especially even when you know it's in a pack, to open packs over and over and over and get all these other rares and all these other cards that are not what you're looking for, and you're trying to get that one thing. Like, so for me, I think when I was building an Ojama deck, I just for some reason had a lot of trouble getting Ojama. I think it was Ojama Yellow, which seems fitting because he has always seemed kind of sneaky to me. Has Ojama Yellow seemed sneaky to you guys? Y'all, I'm gonna put that on Twitter, a Twitter poll. Does Ojama Yellow particularly seem sneakier than the other Ojamas? And he just seems very sneaky. Anyway, so maybe that was designed to be that way, but I don't think so. If you're looking for a certain card in the game, man, I feel like you can open pack after pack after pack I guess it's a lot like real life in that way, and not get the cards you're looking for, sometimes too much. So I wish there were like a card shop where you could buy individual cards in this game. Would be really wonderful. And the other downside to that is any beyond multiples of 3 that you get in your collection just go away. So another cool feature would have been, and this has been in card games for years, if you had collect more than 3 of a card, then you can sell those back and maybe get credit to buy more packs or something eventually. That would have been a really cool option to have in here, and sadly it's not. So what that means is you're going to be cracking packs forever to try to get what you want. There are other ways to obtain cards. If you know it's in a certain duelist's deck, you can do a challenge duel against that person, and win or lose, you get cards from their deck. So that's one way that you can get certain cards, but if it's not in a person's deck, then you got to open packs. So now here's what I'll say about the progression of unlocking packs and getting achievements and stuff. I like it to take a while because I always have something, me personally as a gamer, I always have something to feel like I keep going after, and it adds replay value for me. I know a lot of people say, nah, I don't like that. I want everything available from the beginning. It's too tedious. It takes too long to unlock everything. If that's you, then this may frustrate you a little bit, but man, I would say just try it, because in my opinion, the fun comes from playing and trying different decks, and just the adventure is the fun. And I have built so many decks in this game, guys. I probably have at least 40 different decks now, and already I have ideas in my head of other decks that I want to try, and other ones that I did make that I have now unlocked cards that I want to go back and try to improve them. This is a complete no-brainer. There shouldn't be anything else I need to say about this game. Honestly, the moment I said over 9,000 cards, if you didn't own this game, you should go buy it immediately. If you like card games at all, even if you've never tried Yu-Gi-Oh, try this now. Do I even need to say it's a 10 out of 10? Why are you still listening to me? If you don't have this game, go buy it. And if you have it, go play it, because it's amazing. And even just talking about it makes me want to go play it. So just stop the podcast, hit stop, go play Yu-Gi-Oh! And you know what? You're welcome. You can thank me for that later. You guys are welcome. I hope you enjoyed this. Probably you're not even listening anymore because you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, and that's good, because I think I'm going to go play Yu-Gi-Oh! Now. All right, get your trap guards going. I'll see you next time.